Hey, big salute, family. This your brother K. Judah, giving all praise to the Most High Yah, and faith in Yahshua HaMashiach. To my Israelite family worldwide, I say peace and blessings. Big salute to the CUC family, FOPE family, and all my brothers and sisters in the chat, and the early Shabbat Shalom to you all. Let me say this, family. What I'm about to deal with today, I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, and I guarantee you what you about to hear today is spiritual. Multiple wives is not even really on my radar. What I'm about to show you today go way beyond multiple wives. This is spiritual. And I'm going to show you that from the beginning, the Most High's program, listen again, the Most High's program, the way he designed it from the beginning was a man and a woman. Wife, man, husband for the woman. Wife for the man, husband for the woman. Now, you have to ask yourself, when did multiple wives come into play? Is it a part of our culture, or was it added to our culture? Was it from the beginning with our forefathers from the beginning, or did it come later? Because when you hear people talking about the African culture and how they get down, that's something that was passed down from generation to generation. Was multiple wives passed down from generation to generation in the Israelite culture? So that's what we're going to deal with today, family. My spirit is on fire. Because what you about to hear today came from Yah and Yahshua. Came from Yah and Yahshua. So let's get it. Everything that you hear, beloved Israel, please write down. Please write down, family. Everything that you hear, please write it down. I don't have no issue with multiple wives. My issue with it is that some men in this community would tell the woman, y'all got to get out of that jealousy. But the Most High get jealous. And he gave us that attribute. How you think a woman supposed to feel if she been with you 20 plus years and you come to her and say, I want to bring another woman into the home? A home that I'm pretty sure she designed, she decorated, she take care of, and now here come this other woman, and you gonna tell this woman not to get jealous? Well, put aside the jealousy. What about the emotional part for the woman? You don't know how that can drive a woman crazy. For her to see a man she been with 20-some years hugging and kissing and feeling on another woman after 20 years. Come on, y'all. So let's deal with this spiritually. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. And your brother K. Judah is going to read 26 to 28. Everything that I bring forth will be line upon line, precept on precept. That's it, family. That's it. Genesis chapter 1. And I'm getting straight to the point through the whole lesson. Genesis chapter 1. And I'm going to read 26 through 28. And then, can somebody show me a scripture? Anybody? Show me a scripture that the Lord told Adam to rule over Eve before the sin. Anybody? Show me a scripture where the Lord told Adam that your husband gonna rule over you before the fall. They were supposed to be a team. She's still a helpmate, don't get me wrong. But the Bible say, let them have dominion. He say, let them have dominion. He said, let them have dominion, not just the man. But once the sin came, then your husband shall rule over you. But before that, he never told Adam that. He never told Eve that. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. And it reads, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said, unto them be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion, talking to both of them, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over all the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So this, how God designed it from the beginning, he made male and female. Now we know when you say man, that covers the whole species. It also covers woman. So he ain't just talking to the man, he also talking to the woman. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2, and I'm going to pick it up at verse 7. Go right over to Genesis chapter 2. And your brother K. Judah going to pick it up at verse 7. And it reads, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Now jump down to verse 21 and 24. 21 and 24. And it reads, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which the Lord God hath taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is not bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Now the Lord, you so cold, and your son so cold. You could have also created Eve from the dust, but you took her from man to let this man know that this woman is a part of you. So however you don't want to be treated, why you treat her so bad? Did you not know that he took the rib so you can know she's bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh, man? So how you gonna tell a woman how to feel when you bringing in other women into the home after so many years of only being with you? Now you disturbing the peace of the house. Now if you got a man and the woman is okay with it and the house is in peace, big salute to you. But how many cases can we say going like that? So the woman got a right to get jealous. Y'all get jealous. Y'all sure get jealous. That's an attribute that he gave us. So you can't tell her how to feel. You can't tell her you got to get over your jealousy. Let your woman bring in another husband into the home then. Let's see how you feel, old man. Y'all got to stop being biased when the conversations come up. Now let's go, family, to Genesis chapter 4, because I heard some Israelites say it don't matter where multiple wives came from, but everything matters in the scriptures. It's a reason why certain things is mentioned in the scriptures. It's for your example. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 17 through 19. Genesis chapter 4, verse 17 through 19. Genesis chapter 4, verse 17 through 19, and it reads, and Cain knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begot Mahujalah, and Mahujalah begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech, and Lamech took unto him 2 wives. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. And Lamech took 2 wives. I thought this was a part of our culture. Adam didn't have 2 wives. All the children of Seth that I'm about to read the genealogy of Adam, it never mentioned none of them having 2 wives, but they had a lot of children. So the point I'm trying to make is that why a lot of y'all make it seem like you need multiple women to build up a nation. You niggas ain't building up no nation. The nation already built it. All you doing is adding to the nation. It's already built it. So how you nation building? The nation already built it. You just adding to the nation. But Lamech is the one that took 2 wives. But I thought that was a part of our culture. Verse 19 again. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. So there you go. This started with Cain's seed, and we know Cain's seed was wicked. They was performing all that perverseness. Lamech had multiple wives. But let's go to the genealogy of Adam and let's see if the Lord gonna mention any one of them having multiple wives. But because according to a lot of men, you need multiple women to build the nation, but the nation already built it. Some of our grandmothers had 12 children. Some of our grandmothers had 15 children. But y'all trying to make it look like you need multiple women to bring forth children to build a nation when the nation already built it. You ain't nation building. You just adding to something that's already built it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 5. And I'm going to read 1 through 5. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1 through 5. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1 through 5. And it reads, this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. How many wives did Adam have, y'all? Can anybody tell me, how many wives did Adam have? Anybody put in the chat, how many wives did Adam have? How many? Before I read verse 4, how many wives did Adam have, family? Anybody put in the chat for me? Before I read, okay, thank y'all. He had 1 wife, right? Let's see how many children this man had. Verse 4, and the days of Adam, after he had begot Seth, was 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters with that one woman. He begot sons and daughters with that one woman. They had a lot of children. And then Seth's children had a lot of children. Man, let's get it, man. Verse 4 again. And the days of Adam, after he had begot Seth, was 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. You mean to tell me that by that one woman, Adam, you live to be 900 and some years old, and the Lord gave you all those children by that one woman? Now, I ain't never say how many you had, but I know you had a lot of children. But you mean to tell me you had all them children by that one woman? But according to some of the Israelites, Adam, my forefather, they say you need multiple women to build a nation. Something has already built it. You don't need multiple women to do it. Our grandmas didn't need other women in their household to bring forth children when they was having 15, when they was having 12, when they was having 9, when they was having 8. So what are y'all talking about? Now jump down to verse 7. Verse 7, and it reads, and Seth lived after he had begot Enos 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. I ain't seen nothing yet with multiple wives. Jump down to verse 10, and it reads, and Enos lived after he had begot Canaan 815 years, and he begot sons and daughters. I ain't read nothing yet about multiple wives. Jump down to verse 13, and Canaan lived after he had begot Mahalalel 840 years, and he begot sons and daughters. Oh, you mean to tell me all our fathers from the time of Adam, from Genesis chapter 1 all the way to Genesis chapter 5, followed the original plan of Yah, which was one man, one woman? That's what I'm seeing. So this is not a part of our culture. They all follow the original plan of Yah. Lamech children, it's the ones that took 2 wives. It say Lamech, not Seth children. So far, I'm going down the genealogy. They had a lot of sons and daughters. And I'm pretty sure they all had 1 wife. Because if they didn't, the Lord would have mentioned it. Didn't he mention Lamech? Why he ain't mentioned none of Seth children taking on multiple wives? But he sure mentioned Lamech, though. Jump down to verse 13 again. And Canaan lived after he had begot Mahalalel 840 years and begot sons and daughters. Jump down to verse 16. And it reads, and Mahalalel lived after he had begot Jared 830 years and begot sons and daughters. Jump down to verse 19. And it reads, and Jared lived after he had begot Enoch 800 years and he begot sons and daughters. Man, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? They all followed the original plan. Adam had Eve. He brought forth some children. Seth got a wife. He had sons and daughters. And it just kept going down all the way till you get to who? Abraham. So they all followed the original plan. So how is this a part of our culture? Now, don't get me wrong. The Lord allowed it. But it's not a part of our culture. Because if it was, it would have been in the beginning. Adam, children, Seth would have been practicing multiple wives, but evidently, I ain't read nothing about it yet. Jump down to verse 22. 22, and it reads, and Enoch walked with God after he had begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. Jump down to verse 26. And Methuselah lived after he had begot Lamech. This a different Lamech, family. After he had begot Lamech 708 years and 2 years, and begot sons and daughters. Jump down to verse 30. Verse 30, and it reads, and Lamech lived after he had begot Noah 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. So all throughout the generation of Adam, I have not read yet that they had multiple wives, but they had a lot of children, and I'm pretty sure it was all about one woman. Adam had all them children by Eve. The man lived to be 900 and some years old. That's a long life to have some children. And you can't, and nobody on this earth can say, man, that's impossible. Well, what about that family that had that TV show? God kept opening up his wife's womb. The man had about 20-some kids. Let's go, family, to Genesis chapter 6, because I want to show you that even Noah and his kids were still in the original plan. They all had one wife. Noah had a wife and his sons had a wife. They all had one wife. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. And your brother K. Judah is going to read 17 through 18. 17 through 18. And it reads, and behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. There you go. Noah had one wife. Adam had one wife. Seth and all their children probably had one wife. I have not read multiple wives yet. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10, and I want to show you that even in the genealogies of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they had a lot of children too. It never mentioned multiple wives. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10. Genesis chapter 10. And I'm not going to read all the children, but I just want to read verse 1 to show you that all three of these men had a lot of children. But you remember, I just came from Genesis chapter 6, and it say they all had their wives, singular, their wives. So all these men had these children by these three different women, and they had a bunch of children. So you don't need multiple wives to bring forth a bunch of children, family. Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. And if you read these names, these are a lot of children. Because the children that they had children. And then them children had some children. I have not read Multiple Wives yet, but people say it's a part of our culture. No, it was added to our culture. It has never been a part of our culture. It was added to our culture, family. Now, if a man want to do it, do your thing. But stop saying it's a law. Nope, it's not a law. When Christ gave the 10 Commandments, I never read multiple wives in the law. What law say something about multiple wives? The law just allowed it to be. Ain't nobody going to die for doing it. But that's not the original plan. The original plan for God is to keep the peace. That's 1 Corinthians 7:15. He have called us unto peace. How you going to have peace after 20 years bringing in another woman in another woman's house? You disturbing the peace, man. You causing confusion. It's about to be some chaos. Let's go to Genesis 15. Y'all see how I'm walking it down? Have y'all heard anything yet in the scriptures about multiple wives other than Lamech? Other than the children of Cain, Lamech. You have not heard it yet. But if it was a part of our culture, it would have been passed down. But it was never passed down. You don't hear nothing about somebody taking on another wife until you get to Abraham. But that's a long time, a long stretch from Adam. Let's go, family, to Genesis chapter 15. And your brother K. Judah going to read verse 1 through 4. Genesis chapter 15, verse 1 through 4. And it reads, after these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abraham said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless? And the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus. And Abram said, behold to me, thou hast given no seed. I want to point out something. You know how they say seed only means sperm? It do mean sperm, but it also can mean a child. So he just said, you have given me no seed, meaning you have given me no child. So stop trying to make it look like seed only means sperm just so it can fit your agenda. It doesn't always mean sperm. It can also mean a child. Verse 3 again. And Abram said, behold to me, thou hast given no seed. And lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this should not be thy heir. But he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. Now, I'm pretty sure Abraham told Sarah what the Lord told him. Listen again. I'm pretty sure the Lord told Sarah what God told him. Abraham told Sarah what the Lord told Abraham. Hey, man, the Lord told me we're going to have a child, and this is the Lord's plans, but Sarah got impatient. So what Sarah about to perform don't got nothing to do with the Lord. So y'all want to use Abraham to say he had multiple wives, but you don't deal with it with context. That man was not looking for no other woman. That man was dwelling in peace with Sarah. Sarah came up with this, not the Most High Yah. But why he didn't stop it, K. Judah? Because sometimes the Lord got to show you the error of your ways. Why would he stop everything? No, he wants you to learn the hard way. So Sarah, by doing this and being impatient, caused some turbulence in her house. Not Yah, not Abraham. He's not at fault for what Sarah decided to do. Knowledge. Now this is Genesis chapter 16. Genesis 16. And I'm going to read verse 1 through 6. And then I'm going to show you the extension of why Sarah told Abraham, get rid of this bondwoman. Because you remember, the Bible say line must be up on line. So I went and found another line to correlate with the scriptures in the King James Bible to let us know, why did Sarah tell Abraham, cast out this bondwoman? I'm going to read it to you today. But this is Genesis chapter 16 and verse 1 through 6. And it reads, now Sarah, Abram's wife, bare him no children. And she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarah said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord have restrained me from bearing. But hold up, in Genesis 15, he just told Abraham, you're going to have a child. So why did not Sarah just be patient? See, sometimes you be so hasty trying to move the Lord's hands on your terms, and you can mess up things. Verse 2 again, and Sarah said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord have restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. He wasn't looking for multiple wives. Go in unto my maid. He wasn't looking for no multiple wives. Go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarah. Okay. And Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband, Abram, to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she hath conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. Don't get mad now, Sarah. Don't you get mad now. The Lord, he told Abram, you're gonna have a child. You got impatient. And look what happened. Now you mad now. And then you're gonna try to blame it on Abraham. Verse 5. And Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. Hold up, whoa. How your wrong is upon Abraham? He was just chilling, minding his business. He didn't ask you to do this. You came up with this scheme. You the one was impatient, Sarah. This has nothing to do with Abraham. The Lord allowed this to be because you need to learn to trust the Lord. Your faith need to be a little bit more stronger than what it is. You can't move the Lord's hands and try to dictate what he do on your terms. The Lord move on his own terms, Israel. Verse 5, and Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee, and I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she hath conceived, I was despised in her eyes, and the Lord judged between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarah, behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarah dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Hold on, Sarah, now you want to mistreat the woman. Now you want to deal hardly with the woman. But at first, Sarah, it was peace in your house. Your handmaid was in subjection unto you until you came up with this scheme. Let's go to Genesis chapter 17. Genesis 17 and verse 15 through 19. Genesis 17 and verse 15 through 19. Now, even though Sarah did this, the Lord still kept his original plan that Sarah was going to bring forth a son. All Sarah had to do was wait. And Hagar would have been still in subjection. Sarah would have been at peace. Abraham would have been at peace. But sometimes our own decisions can cause the house not to be at peace. And that's what a lot of you men do. You want multiple women. You blame the woman for being jealous when she has a right to be jealous because she's been only with you all these years. Now you want to bring in multiple women into the house. That means you're going to be smashing multiple women. You're going to be hugging multiple women. You only used to touch her. Now you touching other women. You only used to grab her backside. Now you grabbing other women backside. And you have the audacity to tell woman, get over your jealousy, woman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everything in this Bible is an example to watch the pitfalls. Now, I'm going to reiterate it again. If a man want multiple women, y'all don't hear me teaching on multiple wives condemning it. I'm just giving y'all according to the scriptures. This was not a part of our culture. It's something that was added to our culture because of what you just said right here. Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham, not the Lord. Say that again, K. Judah. Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham, not the Lord. So this was her plan, not y'all's plan, not Yahshua's plan. That's all I'm trying to get y'all to see. Let's go to Genesis chapter 21, because now, we're in Genesis chapter 17, verse 15 and 19. Genesis chapter 17, verse 15 and 19. Then we go into Genesis 21. And it reads, and God said unto Abraham, as for Sarah thy wife, thou should not call her name Sarah, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him? that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear. And Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. So Yah kept his word. Yah is not a man that he shall lie. Yah kept his word. How we know that? Let's go to Genesis 21, verse 1 through 10. Genesis 21, verse 1 through 10. Genesis 21, verse 1 through 10. And it reads, and the Lord visited Sarah as he hath said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he hath spoken. For Sarah conceived. For Sarah conceived. Just a little bit more patience, Sarah. And everything would have went according to plan. Just a little bit more patient, Israel. And everything gonna go according to plan. Verse 2 again. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in her old age, at the said time of which God hath spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, and God hath commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. The Lord keep his word, boy. Verse 6, and Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age, and the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast that same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman should not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. So what did Ishmael do that angered Sarah so bad that she told Abraham, get rid of this bondwoman and her son? And what did the Lord tell Abraham, family? Hearken to the voice of your wife. Hearken to the voice of your wife. So let's get it. This what happened. Y'all see this? This is Jasher, chapter 21. Jasher, chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 13 through 16. This is the extension, line upon line. Why did Sarah want Abraham to cast out the bondwoman with her child? This is the reason why. This is Jasher, chapter 21. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 13, and it reads, and when Isaac was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishmael at the door of the tent. And Ishmael came to Isaac and seated himself opposite to him. And he took the bow and drew it and put the arrow in it and intended to slay Isaac. Oh, knowledge. He tried to kill Isaac. This is why she said, cast out this bondwoman, man. Get rid of these two. But it grieved Abraham, and he had a right to be grieved because Ishmael was still this man's child. But the Lord told Abraham, hearken to the voice of your wife. So let's keep going. Verse 15. And Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do unto her son Isaac, and it grieved her exceedingly on account of her son. And she sent for Abraham and said to him, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for her son should not be heir with my son. For thus did he seek to do unto him this day. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah, and he rose up early in the morning, and he took 12 loaves, just like the Bible say, and a bottle of water, just like the Bible say, which he gave to Hagar, and sent her away with her son. So there you go. There you go right there. This is why the Lord told her, man, hearken to your wife, man. Listen to what your wife is telling you. And Abraham listened to his wife. 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 I had to say it 5 times because a lot of you men, when the Bible say your husband gonna rule over you, you think the Lord telling you to rule over a woman with disrespect. She can't talk. She can't say nothing. You think you know everything. You got all the answers. She telling you she don't want you to participate in multiple wives. You disregard what she's saying. You disregard her feelings. You don't care nothing about what she's saying. Why? Because the Lord told you to rule over her, huh? So this is why, family. She say, cast out this bondwoman because Ishmael intended to slay Isaac. Man, the man put a bow inside of that arrow thing and was going to kill that boy. And Sarah saw it. She said, man, hey, they got to go, man. They got to go. And Abraham listened to her. And even Yah stepped in and said, hey, do what she's saying, bro. Oh, yeah. Whatever she just told you, yeah, do that. Get them out of here, man. Get them out of here. Let's go, family, to Genesis chapter 29. Now we're about to get to Leah and Rachel. Genesis chapter 29. And I'm going to read verse 1, then I'm going to skip down. Now we're getting to Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. Let's see how this played out. Did you know? I'm going to read it to you, but did you know? Because at first I was like, why did the Lord add laws like if a man have a wife that is loved and hated? Oh, Sarah and Leah. Why did the Lord add this in there? A man should not take a sister with her other sister. Oh, Rachel and Leah. The Lord was giving examples, man. Knowledge. Let's go to Genesis 29, fam. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1, then I'm going to skip down to verse 16 to 26. 16 to 26. Let's go to Genesis 29. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1, then I'm going to skip down to verse 16. And it reads, then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. Now jump down to verse 16. Verse 16 to 26. 16 to 26. And it reads, and Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love that he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass that in the evening, that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? Jacob was not looking for multiple wives. So why y'all keep using Jacob? And then y'all gonna say it doesn't matter how it came about. Yes, it does. He wasn't looking for it. But y'all keep using them though. He wasn't looking for none of this. So the point I'm making is that all the 12 sons were supposed to be brought forth by Rachel, and they would have kept the peace. If Jacob would have had all his children by Rachel, we wouldn't be reading none of this. So just because Laban tricked him and the Most High sat back and watched it play out, Laban got his in the end. So if the Most High did not want this turbulence to go on, he could have stopped it, right? But he allowed all this to play out for our example, for our learning, for our edification. Let me keep going. Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Or it would have been a good thing to tell Jacob that, Laban. Or you should have told a man that from the beginning. The man didn't already serve for 7 years. for the woman that he wanted. You tricked the man. Now he didn't lay with your daughter Leah. Now he can't just put Leah away because he didn't humble the woman. Now he got to take that woman to be his wife. But he didn't want Leah. So that's no fault of Jacob's. It's not his fault he didn't want Leah. But the Most High saw something that he did not like. See, beauty is vain, family. Beauty is vain, family. That's why the Lord say we look at the outer appearance, which we all do. The Lord searched the mind. The Lord searched the mind. So let's see how this played out. Jump down to verse 28 to 31. 28 to 31. And it reads, and Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah. Now that's understandable. We can't get mad at Jacob for that because that's who he worked for, right? So we all can agree that this is no fault of Jacob because he loved Rachel more than Leah. But maybe God was trying to teach a valuable moment. This is why I searched the Bible to tap into Yahshua's mind and Yah's mind. Why you do that, Lord? What made you think that way? What made you have compassion and you repented yourself? These are the things I'll be asking myself. I'll be trying to tap into the mind through the scriptures of the Lord's mind and Yahshua's mind. So maybe he was trying to teach us a valuable moment with Leah and Rachel that beauty is vain. And we look at the wrong things when we're looking at a person. We do not search the mind. We look at that backside. We look at that face. And we look at how them breasts is fashion. Verse 30 again. And he went in also unto Rachel. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah. And served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he didn't use the words despise. He didn't use the word dislike. He said when he saw that she was hated, God don't think like man think. So what you do, Lord? What you do, Lord? Verse 31, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. The Lord always teaching us teachable moments. So what is he teaching us in this scenario? That beauty is vain, family. And he didn't like what Jacob was doing, even though it's no fault of his. Jacob just threw Leah to the side. It is not your fault, Jacob. Yeah, you was tricked. You was tricked. And you work for Rachel. That's your woman. That's who you wanted. But you didn't already humble Leah. So you can kind of give her a little bit more of your love. But after this, there was no peace in this house. There was no peace in this house. Why God did not open up Rachel's womb? That's who Jacob worked for. Why did he open up Leah's womb but not Rachel? What was the Lord trying to teach us? What was he showing us? Family, that beauty is vain. We look at the wrong things on a person. So you know what I'm going to do, Jacob? Because you love Rachel so much, and because Leah was hated, I'm going to open her womb and give you children by her. And Rachel, you're going to see me open up your sister's womb. Because sometimes people use the beauty to their advantage. And maybe it never said that, but, you know, maybe Rachel knew she was beautiful more than her sister and used it to her advantage. It didn't ever say that. Maybe. We don't know. We can, you know, I don't know, fam. But we know beautiful women will use their beauty to their advantage. It's no fault of theirs. You're beautiful. Rachel was a beautiful woman. Leah was tender-eyed. Never said a woman was ugly. Tender-eyed means she was a good-looking woman too. Just not like Rachel. Just not like Rachel. So what happened? Let's see. Verse 32, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now, therefore, my husband will love me. Oh, Leah was looking for love. Rachel was looking for children. Leah was looking to be accepted. Rachel was already accepted. Leah was just looking for love and affection. Rachel was barren. What is the Lord showing you, men? Because your mind is fragile to think on a spiritual level like the Lord wants you to do. So what you do? You sit up here and tell women that y'all need to get in line with this multiple wife thing. This is a part of our culture. This how it always been. You're a liar. All the way from Adam's generation, all the way to Noah, they all had one wife. All the way to Abraham, they all had one wife. Even when you would have got to Jacob, he's supposed to had one wife. They all followed the original plan. But as you see, Abraham was given a wife. God didn't give him that wife. Jacob was tricked. God didn't set that up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So let's go, family, to verse 33 again. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again, man. What is the Lord doing, man? What is the Lord doing, man? Why he giving Leah all these children in Rachel's face? Because back in those days, if you want to bring forth no children, boy, you would look down upon. But the Lord giving Leah all kind of children right in front of Rachel's face. Verse 34, and she conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me. Do y'all see all Leah keeps saying is that she just looking for a husband to love her. Every time she have a child, maybe my husband gonna love me now. And then she have another child. Oh, the Lord saw that I was hated. Every time she had a child, she was just looking for Jacob's love, man. See, Rachel was already accepted by Jacob. That's who he worked for. But she was barren. But Leah, she was bringing forth children. Verse 34 again. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left barren. So what happened, family? What happened? What happened, family? Let's go to Genesis 30. Let's go to Genesis 30. Oh, no. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 21. I'm sorry. Deuteronomy chapter 21, because I want to show you that this is why the Lord said this. See, you have to understand something. The Lord always have to put something in place. Because if he don't, men are just going to go crazy. Not all men, but some men. What is you talking, Kate Judah? Let's go to Deuteronomy 21, 15 through 17. And I'm going to let the Bible tell you. And we coming right back. We're coming right back to Genesis chapter 29. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 15 through 17. Deuteronomy chapter 21. And it reads, if a man have 2 wives, one be loved and another one hated. Why did the Lord have to put this in place, man? Why you can't just love both of them? Because we know, family, it's going to always be a favorite. Somebody going to get more love and more time than the other. And if you just get mad enough and she don't do what you say, you might put the woman's children above the other children and show them more love, because one wife won't do what you say. So somebody gonna get despised. Somebody gonna get the back end of the stick. Somebody ain't gonna receive love. So why you put this in here, Lord? If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne them children, both to be loved and to hated, and if the firstborn son be heir that was hated, then it should be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he should acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he had. For he is the beginning of his strength, and the right of the firstborn is his. Why did he have to put this in there? Somebody ain't thinking spiritually. Somebody wasn't doing right for him to have to put that in there. That's it. Now let's go back to Genesis 29. Back to Genesis 29. I'm just bringing this forth from a spiritual perspective. That's it. A man want to have multiple wives. You will never hear me condemning men for it. I'm just telling you, spiritually, according to scriptures, according to the original plan, this never was. This was not a part of our culture. It's something that was added to the culture. And even when you look at the way it was added, y'all had nothing to do with it. Had nothing to do with it. It's just something he allowed to be, not something he designed. Genesis 29. And 31 through 35. And we're going to read that again. Genesis 29, 31 through 35, and it reads, and when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, didn't the Bible just say one beloved and one hated? Why he put that in there as time went on? Because of these examples, family. The woman was hated, not loved. But like I keep telling y'all, it wasn't Jacob's fault. But the woman was not loved, though. She was not loved. She was hated. That's what the Lord said. I didn't say she was hated. The Lord say she was hated. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Known therefore my husband would love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he therefore hath given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah and left barren. Now go right over to Genesis chapter 30. Genesis chapter 30. And we're going to read 1 through 24. 1 through 24. Genesis chapter 30 and verse 1 through 24. And it reads, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister. So if Jacob would have never got tricked, she would not be fighting with her sister. She would not have envied her sister. They would not have been despising one another. So the point that I'm making is the Lord used all these examples for us, what to look out for, and the confusion that it do cause in a household. A house can be at peace, and then that peace can be interrupted by a man's not thinking spiritually. You have to also consider your wife and her feelings and her emotions when she telling you, I don't want another woman in this house. How you just gonna disregard that and still bring another woman in the house? You're gonna go through what Rachel and Leah was going through. These are examples for you. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. And Jacob anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I in God's stead, who have withheld thee from the fruit of the womb? And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knee. Now you done got Bilhah involved. Now y'all getting other people involved in the foolishness that y'all displaying. What Rachel was displaying at the time. Now you're going to bring Bilhah into the mix. So the point I'm making, y'all, when you look at the scenario and the context, Jacob had nothing to do with this. Verse 3, and she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her husband, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her, and Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and I've also heard my voice, and have given me a son. Therefore she called his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister. Look at what's going on with these two sisters, man. This did not have to be. They squabbling. They driving Jacob crazy. It didn't got Bilhah involved. This disrupted the peace. This disrupted the peace. So if your woman tell you, I don't want no other woman in my house and in my space, how you gonna disregard that woman's feeling and still bring another woman in the house? But I thought you spiritual. I thought y'all called us to peace. But y'all want to interrupt the peace. Verse 9, verse 8 again. And Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. And when Leah saw that she had left barren, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her to Jacob to wife. Now you done got her involved. Now y'all getting everybody involved, man. Not just a whole bunch of foolishness going on. All this going on. Zilpah, Bilhah, Jacob going crazy. Leah and Rachel fighting. Look at this chaos. Verse 10, and Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop coming. And she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughter will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son mandrakes. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, God have given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the sixth son. And Leah said, God have endured me with a good dowry. Now would my husband dwell with me. How many times she done said that, family? How many times Leah didn't let you know, I'm just looking for Jacob's love. I'm just looking for this man to love me. I'm just looking for this man to show me some compassion the way he showed my sister. But remember, this is not Jacob's fault. It's no fault of his. Jacob just wanted one woman. Jacob just was looking for one woman. But y'all keep using these multiple wives story with Abraham and Jacob. And then you use King Solomon and David. Those were kings. They had wealth. They sat up on the throne. A man of that stature and that magnitude, of course he'll have multiple wives. All the women want him. And with all that donk running back in those days, who can help themselves? We talking like we say in Houston, fill wheels and grills. So do you see this? Do you see this? Verse 20, and Leah said, God have endured me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened unto Rachel, and opened her womb. And she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God have taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son. Now I want y'all to peep something. Who did Jacob love out of all his children? The woman that he loved the most, Joseph. Did y'all make that correlation? Jacob loved Joseph more than all his children because he's the son of the woman he loved more than Leah. That also caused confusion. Love your children the same, man. You can't love one child better than the other child because they hated Joseph for Jacob loving him more than all his other children. You got to show your children the same love, man, or you're going to have a house of confusion. Somebody might get hurt because their envy and jealousy might rise up so thick for you not showing all your children the same type of love. So I want to ask you men out there who love multiple wives scenario. Can you love 2 women the same? And if it can be done, who have done it? Because Jacob, he loved Rachel. Abraham, he really just loved Sarah. All our fathers in the genealogy of Adam, they all had one wife. Adam only had one wife. Joseph only had one wife. And he was like the second in command in Egypt. He wasn't looking for multiple wives. When our fathers grew in Egypt, I never read that those men had multiple wives. And the Bible said they grew into a mighty nation. And they had to be mingling with each other because the Egyptian Pharaoh was throwing the babies in the Nile River. But if them would have been children by Egyptian women, you think he would have did that? These are the things that I think about. These are the things, the Bible take my mind to stuff like that for me to really think deep. If Pharaoh people would have been sleeping with our women, would Pharaoh have killed all them male babies? Absolutely not, because they was by Egyptian women. This lets you know that the Hebrew man was sleeping with the Hebrew woman. Pharaoh didn't like how they was growing, and he threw all them babies in that Nile. This lets you know that them men was having one wife. And if it wasn't, the Lord would have told us. He told us about Lamech. Why not? I mean, the Lord don't hide nothing from Israel. He let us know everything, right? Everything he wants us to know. So all I'm saying, sisters, don't shortchange yourself. You got one life to live. Now, if you want to participate in a multiple wives scenario, do your thing. But if you don't, my sister, and your husband disregards your feelings, that's a man that don't respect you. He don't respect how you feel or what you say. Especially if he tell you, I'm going to do it anyway. That's disrespectful. And the time we living in, who care about multiple wives at the time we living in? Man, the dollar about to crash. We about to head into some hard times. The woman gonna already cleave to the righteous man anyway. So what's the big deal? Follow Yah and keep the commandments. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 18. Because I want to show you that this law that God added, because he added it because it wasn't in the 10. He didn't say nothing about this in the 10 commandments. So all these things were added later on. How we know that? Leviticus 18. Now remember Rachel and Leah, all that squabbling, all that fighting, at each other's throats, using their handmaids to get involved in their drama, using Jacob, hiring the man to have sex, all for mandrakes. So what did the Lord say, man? The Lord said, hold up, man. I got to put something in place, man. I'm being honest. I got to put something in place because if I don't, it's going to be a lot of confusion. Sisters going to be at each other's throats. Man, they might hurt each other. So what I need to do, Leviticus chapter 18. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1, then I'm going to skip down to verse 18. Leviticus 18 and verse 1. And it reads, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, jump down to verse 18. Verse 18. And it reads, neither should thou take a wife to her sister to vex her. Whether there's multiple wives or whether you leave your sister, whether you leave your wife that you with and go be with her sister. You can't do either one of those. Why, K. Judah? Because of what Leah and Rachel was going through, family. You remember, if you got two wives, one beloved and one hated, why? Because Leah was hated. A man cannot take two sisters in the same lifetime to vex her. Why? Because of what Leah and Rachel went through. You see how he give us these examples, family? Let me read that again, verse 18. Neither should thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime. Didn't Jacob have two sisters? Leah and Rachel were sisters. So why did the Lord put this in place if multiple wives is a good thing? Why did he put in place one beloved and one hated? Because he know how you niggas think. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2 and prove to you men, you keep dealing with your wife despitefully and treacherously. The Lord got something for you Negroes. Let's go to Malachi. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi chapter 2. This is why the Lord putting certain things in place. So you cannot follow in those steps unless you want to. If your husband come to you and say, I want multiple wives, and you agree to it, then that's you agreeing to it with your husband. But most women tell you, men, they don't want to be in no multiple wives scenario. And the first thing you say is get out your jealousy. Some women just want to enjoy one man. So she can be ravished with his love and he can be ravished with her love. The Bible say let her breast, not let her breasts satisfy you. Let your wife breast satisfy you. The Lord still talking the original plan. Malachi chapter 2, I'm going to pick it up at verse 1, then I'm going to skip down to verse 13 through 16. 13 through 16. Malachi chapter 2. Let's see what the Lord said about the men of Judah. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. Jump down to verse 13 through 16. 13 through 16. And it read, and this have you done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears and weeping and with crying out, insomuch that he regarded not the offering anymore, or receive it with goodwill at your hand. Ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of your youth. He's still talking the original plan. See, when God talk, he's speaking the form of the original plan, not man's plan, but the original plan. He say your wife. He hath been witness between you and the wife of your youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet she She is thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. And did not he make one? Did not he make one? What you mean one? One flesh. He made one, family. He took one rib and he made one. When Adam said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, then not the Bible saying they should become one? This is one. He made one. And did not he make one? Yet he had the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. There you go. For the Lord, the God of Israel, said that he hate putting away. For one covered violence with a garment. It's like you got a garment on and all the violence is inside the garment. You hiding the violence. You hiding your treachery. You hiding your disrespect. And but in front of people, hey, baby, I love you. But behind closed doors is something else. Because you dealing treacherously. You don't respect what your woman say. You don't respect her mind. But you say you love her. If you really love your woman and she's sitting up here telling you, I would not be comfortable being in the presence of my home with another woman, and you disregard what she say, you have no respect for that woman. Knowledge. 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 I'm almost done, family. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 5. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. Let's see how many times the Lord say wife. When you get to the New Testament, when Yahshua walked the scene with the disciples and the apostles, they taught the gospel. They taught the gospel. Most men don't even know what the gospel is. They taught the gospel. In those days when Yahshua walked the earth, they weren't worrying about no multiple wives, man. They taught the gospel. They taught things that were spiritual food, not carnal food, spiritual. They taught the gospel. Proverbs chapter 5. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. Then I'm going to skip down to verse 18 and 19, and I'm almost done. Proverbs chapter 1. Man, Proverbs chapter 5. My spirit burning with fire. It's been burning since 3 o'clock this morning, just to come edify the nation. Because people have been asking me questions. They confused. So I want to come from an angle of just being spiritual, with the spiritual eye, looking at the scriptures from the perspective of the spiritual eye. This is Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thy ear to my understanding. Jump down to verse 18 through 19. 18 through 19. And it reads, let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife. This is Solomon writing this. A man who had multiple wives. Why would Solomon say your wife? Because he know that multiple wives cause a lot of confusion. I mean, they turned his heart away from his God, dealing with all them women. But they was women of other nations. It don't matter, though. He still had multiple wives. He couldn't even stay focused on what he supposed to be doing. He supposed to be governing the nation. He supposed to be guiding the people with righteousness and using discretion. He over there getting busy with all them women. But I know he ain't sleep with all them women. It's impossible to sleep with 1,000 concubines. It's impossible to sleep with all them women, I mean. Verse 18 again. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and as the pleasant roe. Let her breast, no, they breast. Let her breast, no, both of your wives' breasts. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with their love. Oh, I'm sorry. Her love. Their love. No, I'm sorry. Her love. I got a little tripped up. I thought it said their love, but I apologize. It says her love. But you want me to tell you something? When you really truly love a woman, really truly love that woman that you're with, I mean, you really love that woman, man. You don't need another. You don't need another. It's just going to cause confusion. Everybody likes something new. New car, new house, new looking bank account, new shoes on, new clothes. So when a new woman come around and that thing is moving like them waves in the ocean, boy, whoo, that's something new for you. And you looking and glancing, and boy, you want to get a little taste of that. It's like peach cobbler. But look at your white face, though. She hurt. She's sad. Her spirit is broken. But you ain't paying no attention to how your wife feel. Because, boy, you looking at that train. Choo-choo. And it's moving. And it's moving fast. And you looking, and your wife hit you. Dang, man, you looking hard. Oh, my bad, baby. My bad. I was looking at the icebox. What you cooking today? Now, you was looking at her backside. Come on, baby. I just glanced at it, but I wasn't really looking. I'm looking now. I wasn't really looking. Ooh, baby, I wasn't looking, baby. You tripping. That's all I'm saying. It caused confusion. It caused confusion. And we got to be real with this. We got to be real with it. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9. One verse. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9. Boy, you know everybody likes something new. Stop it. Y'all know y'all do. That's why you want the multiple wives. You've been with your woman so long, you want to try something different outside of your woman. Not if you truly love her, though. If you truly love her, you don't need another. Y'all too busy being ravaged with each other's love. Y'all trying to build y'all empire. But then you're going to bring in another woman. Come on, man. Talking about y'all building the empire. You don't need multiple women to build an empire. You just want that multiple peach. And that's the truth. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9. And it reads, live joyfully with the wife. No, hold on, no. I'm reading that wrong. I apologize. Let me read it again. Live joyfully with the wives. Do they say wife or wives? Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of thy life, of thy vanity, which he have given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor, which thou takest under the sun. He say, live joyfully with the wife, not wives. So why the Lord didn't put that in there, though? So we can understand that it's a part of the law. He should have said wives, not just wife. Wives. But he never said that because God speak in the form of the original plan. Man speak in the form of his feelings and emotion. Not y'all, though. Because y'all original plan was already set up from the beginning. He took one rib. He made a woman. He brought that woman to Adam. There was not bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman. That was his wife. She conceived, and they had plenty of children. And then they had some children, and it just kept going all the way till you get to Abraham, when Sarah got impatient and gave Hagar to Abraham without the Lord's approval. She did it on her own. The Lord had nothing to do with that. Then Jacob get tricked. He just working for one woman. He get tricked. One woman get despised and hated. The other woman get loved. That was no fault of Jacob's. But look at the chaos that it caused in that house. But like I keep saying, all the disciples and apostles spoke the gospel. We don't find nothing in the New Testament of men arguing and fighting over whether we can have multiple wives because they was too busy teaching the gospel. They were too busy feeding the people with spiritual food. If Christ never spoke on the New Testament, that means it's not important to him. But it's important to the Israelite man that he have multiple wives, multiple backside, multiple peaches up in the house. But the Lord can care less about that. We're supposed to be feeding the people spiritually, giving them prophecy, and waking them up with thus said the Lord, not with thus said how we feel. I'm almost done, family. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 more scriptures. Let's go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 1 through 5, because they're going to try to trip up Christ. Let's see what he said. Matthew 19. They try to trip up our big brother, but he too clever. He too smart. He's the word. You can't trick him. Matthew chapter 19, verse 1 through 5. And it reads, and it came to pass that when Yahshua had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. And the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have you not read that which he made them at the beginning, made them male and female? And said, for this cause should a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain should be one flesh. Hold up, I just read that in Malachi. Hold up. Let's go back to Malachi chapter 2. Malachi chapter 2. Hold up, man. Hold your mark in Matthew chapter 19. We coming right back. Precept must be up on precept and line up on line. Here a little and there a little. Malachi chapter 2. And I'm going to read verse 15. Hold up. I say, hold up. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 15. And it reads, and did not he make one? Oh, they two should be one flesh. Did he not make one? One what? One flesh. This is not bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. So your woman, your wife is a part of you, old man. You want respect, but don't have the ability to give respect. You want to be loved and cherished, but don't have the ability to love and cherish. You want the woman to give up everything for you, but what are you giving up for the woman? You know, when I speak like this, the men who can handle my honesty don't have a problem with me. But you Negroes who can't even get women to listen to nothing you say got something to say. My mama listen to me. My 6 biological sisters listen to me. Women I come in contact, I can tell her something, they listen to me. Because it's a spirit thing. I don't got to showboat masculinity. I'm just who I am and stand as a man, and they can feel that spirit and vibration when they're in the presence of a man. I don't got to swing my masculinity around to show I'm some big tough guy. It's just in me. And when it's in you, they can see it. And when it ain't in you, they can see it. So all you men talking, nigga, no women listen to you. Shut up. My CUC sisters respect me and listen to me. I listen to them also. If I ask them to do something for me, they gonna do it for me. If I say I need $5 from the sisters or $10, now sisters gonna give it to me. If I say I need this money, I got a family over here, I'm gonna go feed this family, I'm gonna help this family out. Don't you know all my sisters gonna give me the money? Not because I'm some macho. Guess why they gonna give me the money? Because they respect me, dog. What have you given women that they should respect you? What are you doing? But on the internet talking, blaming a woman for everything. All the problems in the community. The daughters of Zion, they wicked. You niggas wicked too. But you don't call each other out on your wickedness. But you sure call a weaker vessel out though. But you niggas never call each other out. But I'm gonna call you out, partner. Because I would never be a yes man to no man. And this is why I only get close to a few. Sharsham is my brother for life. I love my brother Sharsham. I love my folk family. That's my brother. And me and Sham don't agree on everything, but me and my brother ain't about to get in no argument over the things that, because I told Sham, I'm not against multiple wives. I just don't like when they don't tell the full story. And he understood where I was coming from. They don't tell the full story. They do not break down completely how it almost destroyed two sisters. And then Bilhah and Zilpah was also the sisters of Rachel and Leah. Did y'all know that? And they got them involved in the foolishness. So I don't worry about what these men say, man. My real family, my biological family, the women in my life listen to what I say, man. And I'm the oldest of my sisters. And they respect their brother. They cherish me. So I don't know what you niggas be talking about on the internet. What you say go out my left ear and not my right ear, dog. You just talking. But nobody listen to you, though. But you blame the woman. Oh, that's what it is. I got it. Because nobody listen to you. That's what you upset for. Can't get the woman to listen to you. But you have given her nothing that she should respect you for. Or listen to you. What are you doing that she should listen to you? Talking about the woman don't listen. You niggas don't even call each other out. You know you're wicked. You know you see things that's wrong in the community. Guess what you do, though? You turn all your attention to the woman and say, the woman is wicked. They won't listen. Look at what they doing. They whoring. You niggas is hoes too. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 19, verse 5 through 6. Matthew chapter 9, verse 5 through 6. And it reads, and said, for this cause should a man leave father and mother, and should cleave to his wife, and they twain should be one flesh. Wherefore did you make one flesh? Wherefore did you make one flesh? Wherefore did you make one? That he may seek a godly seed. But if you got a children by multiple women, you think all them children gonna love each other the same, dog, as if you had them all by one woman? There's gonna be some problems between them children, man. Because somebody gonna get love more than others, because you're gonna have a favorite wife. You might love her children more, and the other children ain't gonna feel love, and the other wife ain't gonna feel love. That's gonna cause confusion in the house, man. Verse 6, wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God have joined together, let no man put asunder. And what did God join together? Adam and Eve. That's the original plan. Adam and Eve. That's the original plan. Listen what I'm saying. That's the original plan. But men in the Bible had multiple wives. But I'd rather go with the original plan, because the original plan gonna bring me peace. But hold up, K. Judah. That does not necessarily mean that if a man had one wife, the relationship gonna work. Well, nigga, pick better. Stop picking for the outer appearance and pick for the mind. Stop picking for the badonkadonk and pick for the mind. Stop picking for them breasts, sitting like a gold cart, and pick for the mind. Don't be telling me about what not gonna work in no one man and one woman relationship. Nigga, pick better. What you want me to do? I'll take my chances with one woman, then 5. Let's go to the last scripture. This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. One thing about y'all, brother, I don't got to speak on myself. I'm going to always be balanced. Just like the last week when I did the live getting on the women for sitting up here talking about Michael B. Jordan is a cornball. Come on, sisters. What kind of man you want? If you want a good man, get a good man. The man that's not out here trying to harm nobody, he not doing wrong, he productive, he stay in his lane, he conduct himself as a man, he respectful. You don't want that man though, but you want these niggas out here with his pants sagging, toting guns, and listening to rap music. Y'all gotta wise up too. Gotta have a balance. But you niggas just call women out all day with no balance. Go see how many videos they did on the man. See how many videos they call men out. You're not going to find no video these niggas calling out men. But you're going to find plenty of videos on YouTube. The woman blamed for this. The woman blamed for that. It's the woman's fault. What's she doing? She won't listen. You niggas don't listen to her. Your woman just told you she don't want multiple wives, but you won't listen to her. Still going to bring peach in the house. Your niggas disrespectful. Thank you, jabroni. The man is too responsible. The man out here being ignorant and being foolish, and they call a man a cornball. But then I also got to remind myself, these are women of the world who think like the world. So of course he's a cornball. But a woman that is spiritual, he's not a cornball. That's exactly what they're looking for in a man. So I always got to remind myself that these are carnal women who think like the world. Let's go to the last scripture. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. No, I got one more after Exodus. I'm sorry. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. Let's see when he said, thou shalt not covet. Let's see what he said. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. Exodus 20 and verse 17, and it reads, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wives. Oh, I apologize. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wives. Man, stop, boy. Let me get it right. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. The original plan. He's still speaking in the original plan. I thought this was a law. Why Christ didn't give it to us when he came down on Mount Sinai and said, and also, multiple wives I have commanded men to take. It never was a commandment, man. It's just something that was allowed. But it is not a part of the original plan. Because all your fathers had one wife until Sarah got impatient on the Lord. And then Jacob got tricked. And then from that point on, Solomon and David took them some multiple wives. But other than that, it's not a part of the original plan. Because God is looking for peace and godly children. He's not looking for chaos. Let's go to the last scripture. James chapter 3 and verse 16. And this will be last, family. I pray y'all got some understanding. I just wanted to come from a different angle. I wanted to come from a spiritual perspective. Meaning, family, that I went into these scriptures and really looked at what is the original plan of Yah. And it's for a man to have his wife and for them to bring godly children and productive children who know Yah and take what has been passed down to them unto the world and feed their other brothers and sisters with that knowledge. This is James chapter 3 and verse 16. I'll say this as James chapter 3 and verse 16. Let me stop. James chapter 3 and verse 16, and it reads, for where envying and strife is, there's confusion. Where envying and strife is, there's confusion. Where envying and strife is. Didn't Rachel and Leah have a lot of confusion? Did not the Bible say Rachel envied her sister? Yes. So let me read that again. For where envying and strife is, there's confusion and every evil work. Every evil work. One more time, K. Judah. For where envying and strife is, there's confusion and every evil work. So, family, I pray that this lesson help the sisters and the brothers. That brother, the time that we living in, make sure your salvation is etched in stone. Make sure your relationship with Yah and Yahshua is etched in stone. Worrying about multiple wives is, come on, man. If you want to do that, just go do it. You can't really bring forth no doctrine on that. Who you gonna use? Abraham, Jacob, and who? King David and Solomon. But you ain't gonna tell a full story, huh? How Abraham, that man, they don't got nothing to do with no multiple wives. Sarah was trying to have a baby, bruh. Jacob was tricked, bruh. None of these men was seeking what y'all be saying. None of them. None of them. So all I say is this, family. Do your due diligence. Read the scriptures for yourself. Get you some knowledge, man. I pray y'all got some understanding. I thank y'all for y'all support. I thank all of us for coming together this day to get the knowledge of God's word, Yahshua's word, not K. Judah's word. And I say big salute. Big salute.
Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. Nah, I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love me, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live, family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Hey, family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.
And y'all know we can't forget about the haters of Yah. Let's get it.
Oh. Yeah. You ready? Look. Could crack, that's what my boss is. Could never play me for ho, I peep the clauses. My whole set is down to throw it up, but we not nauseous. And I got big drip, big splash, and whatever else out the faucet, yeah. It gets slippery around a big splasher. Your hood full of whole bunch of sombreros, big capos. I'm good with my cornea on a sparrow when it get crit tackle. But my hood keep a bag of sticks like a scarecrow. Wig snatchers, oh. Guard your head top. Serpent sliding by your ankles, plotting leg locks. Been here 10 toes in the gravel, but I ain't from bedrock. Guard your bread chop, your yeast rise. Most leaves eyes deadlock on all your treasure. Most measure man's worth, but what brings pleasure? I endeavor to add some feathers on the wings of those transgressors that feel lesser and can't quite apply the pressure to the esophagus of the oppressor. I hope my boys are intercessors, they're in the efforts of all you little devils. Yeah, go to hell. Hello, devil, go to hell. All you devils, go to hell. You think you know me well, but go to hell. hell, yeah.
T'Challa business, radiation through a microwave. What y'all have witnessed is aviation through a tidal wave. I get paid, then I just iced to Jacob like the ice capades. Francis Cresswell sing ISIS papers, replace my Bible page. Cry at the wedding and hire my wifey's bridal maid. Frankie Beverly singing my angry medley through a cyber maze. So guard your head top, this is pressure in the form of a headlock. And this for my niggas to hustle, police patrolling the freeway. Whoa. This is for Nipsey Hussle, holy theologian C-Day. Them snakes exist and play your position like Kobe and D-Wade. Old school 6'4" sitting in mint condition like Toby and Weegway. Go to hell.
Yeah, go to hell. Hello, devil, go to hell. All you devils, go to hell. You think you know me well, but go to hell, yeah.
Hey, hey, hello, is this God?
Yeah, this him.
Well, I be damn, what's up, God? I don't got nothing to say, yeah, what's up, God? What's up, God? What's up, God? Hey, hello, is this God for real?
Yeah, this him.
I be damn, what's up, God? What should I say if the devil called? What should I say if the devil ever called? Go to hell. Go to hell, ayy. Go to hell, go to hell. Now you see it. Go to hell, go to hell, ayy. Go to hell, go to hell. Now you see it. Go to hell, go to hell, ayy. Go to hell, go to hell. Now you see it. Go to hell, go to hell, ayy. Go to hell, go to hell.
And what the Lord displayed today through the scriptures is this right here, family.
Cleaning up old doctrine. Clean up crew. Clean up crew. Clean up crew. Cleaning up old doctrine. Clean up crew. Hey, bring my sword.
In the words of my beloved sister August Dreams of the CUC family, I'm keeping you in my prayers, August, and I love you with the pure heart, my beloved sister. Thank y'all for coming to the Lion's Den, family, to get that knowledge. Let's get it. And your brother K. Judah want to say shalom.
Family, they take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.